Close your eyes. Now imagine the most attractive person you have ever seen. You just pulled up an image. A face. A body. Something visual. Now imagine never having that. Not losing it. Never having it at all. No images. No faces. No bodies. Ever. Now imagine being turned on anyway. Blind people do this every single day. And what happens inside their minds is one of the most fascinating things in neuroscience. Because sexual imagination without images is not a lesser version of sexual imagination. It is a completely different universe built from completely different materials. Here's the first thing that blows people's minds. When someone is born blind, the part of the brain normally used for vision does not just sit there doing nothing. It gets taken over, hijacked by the other senses. The sound, touch, and smell move in and set up headquarters in brain real estate that sighted people use for processing images. This is called cross-modal plasticity, and it means blind people are not processing the world with a brain that has a missing piece. They are processing it with a brain that gave that piece to the other senses. More hardware for sound, more hardware for touch, more hardware for smell. Now apply that to sexual imagination. Sound becomes everything, and not just background noise. The primary architecture of the entire experience. The way a voice drops lower, breathing changing rhythm, the specific texture of someone's laugh, the sound of proximity, of someone moving closer in a quiet room. Sighted people receive all of this, but the eyes drown it out. Blind people receive it with expanded brain hardware dedicated entirely to it. The result is a depth of sonic detail and imagination that most sighted people have never experienced because they never needed to develop it. A voice is not just a voice to a blind person. It is a complete sensory world. It has texture, weight, temperature, history. It activates the same arousal pathways that a sighted person activates looking at someone physically attractive. Different input. Same fire. Now touch. For sighted people, touch during intimacy confirms what you already saw. The visual expectation is already there shaping how it lands. For blind people, touch is the original information. The first discovery. There is no image it is confirming. The shape of someone exists as a purely tactile concept with no visual translation at all. Now scent. This is the one nobody is prepared for. Blind people rank scent as dramatically more important to attraction than sighted people do. And here's why that matters. Human scent is carrying real biological data. Your immune system profile, your hormonal state, your genetic compatibility with the person standing next to you. There is solid research showing people are unconsciously attracted to the scent of someone whose immune genes are different from their own. Your nose is doing genetic screening without asking your permission. Sighted people have this system running, but the eyes drown it out. Blind people have it running in the front seat. So what does sexual fantasy actually look like for someone who has never seen anything? It does not look like anything. That is the point. It is a full sensory construction built entirely from sound, touch, scent, warmth, proximity, and physical memory. All of it combining into something that fires the exact same neurological reward systems, the same arousal pathways, the same emotional and physical responses that visual fantasy fires in sighted people. And here is what blind people actually report about this experience. They do not describe it as lacking something. They describe it as complete, sometimes overwhelming. Because when nothing is competing with sound, sound hits harder. When nothing is competing with touch, touch lands deeper. When nothing drowns out scent, scent carries everything. The absence of one channel does not reduce the experience. It concentrates everything else. Sighted people spend their entire lives convinced that attraction is mostly visual. Blind people spend their entire lives proving it never was. You have been playing one string of a full instrument and calling it music.